Where the fuck did I put my phone? Oh, okay, thank you. Sorry, yes. Okay, guys, so it's going to be my first official recommendation video, and I was looking around for something that, people might not have heard of, but isn't too out of left field. I don't want to scare anybody with my first thing. But I just saw Dune 2, and I heard in the comments of a review about it that supposedly the director, Denis Villeneuve, for his next project, before he does Dune Messiah, Dune Part 3, it's supposed to be Arthur C. Clarke's Rendezvous with Rama. Oh my god. When I found out, I was so fucking excited. If you haven't heard about it, Rendezvous with Rama is an amazing hard sci-fi classic. It's by Arthur C. Clarke, the person who wrote 2001: A Space Odyssey. I believe he worked with Kubrick on the script for the movie and was writing the novel at the same time. Childhood's End and a bunch of other just classic examples of hard sci-fi. If you haven't heard of it, hard sci-fi, Dune kind of is hard sci-fi. I mean, a lot of people would say that, but Dune almost seems fantastical, even though, a spice worm isn't that weird of a thing, and spice melange being a drug isn't that strange aside from our reality. But typically what hard sci-fi prides itself on is being realistic about the science fiction in the world, instead of being fantastical, people would consider Star Wars either sci fantasy or soft sci-fi. Most people consider it science fantasy at this point, but as opposed to something like that, where it's just like it's got the drapings of sci-fi, it's got technology instead of magic. Hard sci-fi basically takes stuff that NASA could do and either extends it way out into the future or really ponders like what the impact of that is, and specifically tries to be realistic about the implications of the science and technology that we know today, what those could be in the future. And Rendezvous with Rama is one of the coolest ones I've ever read. It's like the inverse of Carl Sagan's Contact. If you've ever, I have it over there somewhere, but if you've ever seen that, it's literally a book by a scientist who was like, well, what would it be like if aliens actually tried to contact us and they weren't trying to murder us, as they so often do. Rendezvous with Rama is the opposite. Scientists from NASA and all the other star-based organizations notice a spaceship going through our solar system, and the spaceship isn't stopping; it's just going. It's like a couple years ago, if you remember, there was like it wasn't a craft, but some people were speculating that maybe it was an alien craft. But either way, it was something very big and very fast, moving just straight through our space. It was called Umama, after a Hawaiian deity, and basically that's the real life version of what happened. But in Arthur C. Clarke's version, it is an alien craft, and we're able to determine that because of the fact that it's course correcting. It's heading towards our sun, the opposite of Umama, just and it's going. It's making subtle, slight adjustments because it needs to approach our sun and set up a slingshot maneuver so that presumably on the way by, it can siphon off nuclear energy in order to continue its journey and recourse correct towards wherever the fuck it's actually going. So, unable to get in contact with it, NASA and all the other groups from around the world, they put together a team of the best scientists, technologists, military men, and astronauts available, and they go and they break into it. It's not a heist, but you know, they dock with it, and even though it's not exactly like any Earth dock available, they get in. And the stuff they see in there is incredible. It's some of the strangest, most unique, most thought provoking science fiction I've ever read, because it really poses the question, what is alien life like? How do they think? How do they act? How can we interact with them? And it's basically like an extraterrestrial archaeologist project, because aliens aren't around and their ship is so strange. It's like it's like the size of a state or something. It's this huge, colossal enterprise, and they're only able to explore a small part of it before they have to get back out, lest they get jettisoned out of our solar system with it. It's fascinating. It's intricate. It's grounded. It just gets the imagination going because it seems so real and unique. And the fact that the guy who made Dune is going to be making this, possibly, I couldn't be more excited. And I think you should be too. Check out the audiobook or check out the actual book if you can find it, because it's one of the best. I think about it all the time, especially the last line. It's fascinating. And I think if you like Dune, you'll really like this as well. So give it a try.